Now you can set up custom audiences. By setting up a custom audience, you can tell the system what a qualified lead looks like. To set up a new audience, simply click the New Audience button. Type in an audience name here. Now that we've added an audience name, go ahead and click Next Step. Now you need to define the main attributes of the profiles that you want to include in this audience. Remember, only the profile that meets all these selected parameters will be qualified to this audience. Select the gender you want to include in this audience. Leave it unselected if you want to include both genders. If you want to ignore this option if it's not possible to determine the gender, select this box here. If this audience is going to be for Facebook, Instagram, or X, you can exclude private profiles by selecting this option here, and you can exclude profiles with no message button by selecting this option here. Going down to the countries area, you can now select if you want to include or exclude profiles from the countries that you're about to type in below. I'm going to keep the include profiles from these countries option selected, and then I'm going to type in the countries that I want my profiles to be from. You can select multiple countries if you wish. If you want to only include leads from a particular US state, you can select this US state here. If you want to ignore this option if it's not possible to determine the country, you can select this option here. When you're done determining the profile details, click Next Step. Now you're going to determine the social activity details. Remember, only leads that meet all the selected parameters below will be in this audience. You can use the slider to select the minimum and or maximum values of the different options below. Just like that. When you're done determining the social activity details, go ahead and select the next step. Now you get to define what keywords need to be in the profile content in order to be in this audience. Remember, only the profiles that meet all the selected parameters below will be qualified in this audience. For example, I want owner to be in the profile content, and then I want to exclude any profile that has coach in their profile content. You can continue to fill out the social content details below. When you're done determining the social content details, go ahead and click Save Changes. Awesome, this audience has now been saved. Click OK. Well done, now you have your first custom audience. The first custom audience that you create will be your default audience, meaning that if you create a new pipeline, the default audience will be used in the qualified profile automation. If you wish to switch the default audience, you can do this when you have multiple audiences created. If you want to add an additional audience, go ahead and repeat the same process I just showed you. For each custom audience, you can see the amount of qualified leads in this audience. You can see the percentage of calls based on each audience, and you can also see the percentage of sales based on each custom audience. If you need to edit an audience, simply click the three dots and then click Edit.